If you would only have 2 hours in a week to work on your goals, how would you spend these 2 hours? Let's say your goal is to get good grades. How would you spend these 2 hours in a week? You probably wouldn't spend it on highlighting your freaking textbooks with 4 different colors. Instead, you would probably use your time to work on the exams from last year and study only the most relevant things. When you limit your time to 2 hours, this is where you can truly see the most important tasks in your life. And it also helps you to stop procrastinating. The problem with highlighting your freaking textbook is that you feel productive. You feel that you've actually accomplished something. But this is very dangerous because just by highlighting your textbook, you haven't actually learned anything, but you feel like you've learned something. Now, I'm personally not smarter than my peers or my classmates. In fact, during high school, I had to study a lot to get good grades. But now that I'm in law school, while having a part-time job, while creating content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I had to learn how to become more productive and efficient. It wasn't until I realized that 80% of the things that they teach you in classroom is not really relevant. Especially in law school, you don't have to go to all the lectures to get good grades. Some of the professors are really good at explaining your stuff, and I would really enjoy being in that class. But with other professors, I didn't even pay attention. So it would have been a waste of time to be there for 3 hours and then go home feeling that I've accomplished something in a day without actually having accomplished anything. And this rule that actually 80% of the things that you're doing are not actually important and that only 20% matter, that actually applies to every other aspect of your life as well. Let's take YouTube for example. You could work 80% on your thumbnail, on your YouTube banner, on your title. All of those things have their importance. But you should focus 20% of your time on the most important task, and that is filming the YouTube video and editing it. You could have the greatest thumbnail, the greatest YouTube banner, but nobody's gonna even give attention. Nobody's gonna give a fuck if you don't have an appealing YouTube video. And I can already hear some haters saying, oh, there's no way you can only study 2 hours if you would have been in China or India or any other highly competitive country. Bro, shut the fuck up. I'm studying law, one of the toughest majors in Germany. I have a part-time job. I receive 4 scholarships and I post every single day on social media. Don't tell me that I can't do it. The reason why most of these haters can't study for only 2 hours a day is because of their messed up attention span. Because of social media, our attention span has shrinked a lot in comparison to our ancestors. But you can train deep work to not get distracted from anything else. I wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym immediately. After that, I get home, study for 2 hours deeply, deep work only, and then shoot and edit my content. By 10 a.m. on every single day, I'm finished with the most important task in my life. Think about it, at 10 a.m. on every single day, I probably accomplished more than most people in a whole week, maybe even in a whole month. And the only reason why I can do that is because in those first 5 hours of my day, I'm not letting myself get distracted with anything. I don't watch Netflix, I don't watch my phone, I don't go on social media and doom scroll for like 4 hours, I don't watch porn, and generally I don't party. You will see that if you remove all of those distractions, how much free time you will actually have. And the amount of deep work you can do will make you feel accomplished. I have so much mental peace and room for creativity in my mind because I'm not letting myself get distracted with useless things that don't add any value to my life long term. That's why I can confidently say that I'm productive. Productivity doesn't mean that you work all day. Productivity means that you can get the work done with as minimum effort as possible. I see all the time in my classroom that other law students are bragging about how much time they spend in the library studying every single day. Oh, I studied in the library for 10 hours today. What? You only studied for 10 hours? You're so weak. I studied for 12 hours. I didn't even eat breakfast, man. Bro, shut the fuck up. Are you stupid? And then when we compare the results, we have the same grade while I studied for 2 hours and you for 12 hours. Like, something is wrong with your schedule, dude. The goal should be to get the best grades possible while putting in the minimum amount of effort so that you can have more free time to do the things you actually enjoy doing. The person who can achieve that is the person who wins, who does not get depressed or burnt out. Probably that's the reason why I'm not burnt out yet, while some of my other colleagues in law school are freaking burned out or will eventually burn out if they keep the same habits. To play the game of life, you have to think long term. You have to think of it as a marathon, not a sprint. And the only way how you can survive long term is to cultivate good habits, like going to the gym, eating healthy and properly, getting enough sleep. You sacrifice all of those things if you spend too much time on doing useless things that are not productive enough. Since I switched up my routine and now only spend 2 hours a day on studying, and also guys, this is just a general number. That's what I do the majority of them. Sometimes I need longer as well, right? But it's just about spending your time most efficient on the most important things. But because I minimize the time of distraction and not doing the things that are important, I have so much time to focus on my personal branding. I have so much time on going to the gym, spending time with my family, all of those things, while still getting the grades that I want. So think again about the question I asked you in the beginning. If you would only have 2 hours in a week to work on your goals in life, what would that be? And think about 2 or 3 actionable tasks that are most important that you can do right now and every single day to get closer to your goals and eliminate all the distractions. Oftentimes, it's more important for productivity to say no to distracting things than yes to specific things. If you made it this far in the video, I have some pro tips for you, actionable steps specifically to take an exam the most productive and efficient way. Number 1 is to define what's gonna be in the exam. For that, you can always ask your teacher, or if the teacher is one of those dudes who's like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you students what I'm gonna put in the exam, then just check their syllabus. Or if there's no syllabus at all, ask a senior who has taken the same class what normally will be tested in the exam. During high school, I had this class and the history teacher would always test the same things, always ask the same questions, just rephrasing it a little bit. And because I asked one of my seniors, she gave me literally a whole script with all the highlights and with all the things that I should take care of in order to get an A on that exam. And it saved me so much time just by doing that. Other people were studying like 10 hours for this one exam, while I just looked at her script 2 hours and that was enough to get an A on that exam. After you define exactly what's going on, switch to digital notes. Now I know, at least for me, this is something really normal in uni, but back in high school, I felt like everything was still on paper and everybody was using a pen and paper and just like studied on there. But right now, with the power of useful apps like Notion or whatever you use, it's so much easier to generate a second brain where you can outsource so much of the things that you need to keep in mind and just review it from time to time. And also, it's way faster to generate notes digitally than by doing it on paper. I used to spend several hours just like summarizing the scripts from my teachers on paper, but with digital notes it's so much faster. Within 1 hour you can have it done. So for all those people who say I don't have enough time to do the things I really enjoy because I study all day, think about the 2 to 3 most important tasks that you need to do right now. If this video helped you out, please consider subscribing and I see you in my next video.